If we're going to have enough money in the bank to start work on World 2, we've got to deliver the product when we said we would. I leaned forward, weighed on the knuckles of my clenched fists, and said, "And we can't do that if you keep putting waterfalls in the goddamn river." Fortunately, you can't slam doors on Outpost, but even the hiss of it sliding closed behind her sounded malevolent. I dropped my head in my hands and rubbed my eyes. I wanted to feel sorry for myself, but anyone who starts a business hollowing out asteroids for customers with more money than brains deserves everything they get. Especially when they hire a construction crew with more brains than the customer. The door hissed open. My tall 16-year-old son, Sean, sidled inside, his twin sister Patty right behind him. I was immediately wary. "Hi, kids. Why aren't you in class?" "Crip's jumping for 6, 7, 8, 9 cribbage today. Can we go too?" "What's today? Wednesday?" They nodded. "Hydroponics, right?" They nodded again. "You got your weekly assignments into Ari?" Silence, and I said, "You know the rules. No work, no play." Mad, they looked even more alike than usual. Flushed skin the color of coffee with cream, dark blue eyes darker with anger. Jet black hair winding into tight, irritated little curls. "Oh, Mom, come on," Sean said hotly. "We haven't been off station in a month, and we haven't seen Mom and Pop since the new baby was born." "Yeah," Patty said. "Who do you think you are, William Bly?" At least they weren't finishing each other's sentences anymore. Not out loud, anyway. "That's Captain Bly to you," I said. "Now get on to the lab and finish your projects." They stamped out, spines stiff with outrage. I waited until the door was closed. "Archie? Where's Crip?" Archie, Outpost's computer, conscience, and chief cook and bottle washer, sounded doubtful. I think he's still in bed. He got in late last night and told me not to set the alarm." "Beep him anyway." A moment later, a voice growled, "What do you want?" "Good morning to you two. This is Star. Patty and Sean tell me you're making a trip out to 6, 7, 8, 9 cribbage today. Is that right?" "Where?" There was a murmur in the background. "Your lovely daughter. Who else calls at the crack of dawn?" Into the pickup, he said, "I didn't get in until 5 this morning, Star. And if I'm going to make deadline on the new charts, I'm not going anywhere I've been before anytime soon." There was a sinking feeling in the pit of my stomach I did my best to ignore. "Okay, Crip. Sorry to bother you. Go back to sleep." "Esther, dear, is there something wrong?" "Good morning, Mother. Sorry to wake you. We weren't sleeping, dear, but your timing leaves a great deal to be desired." Mother actually sounded tart, which told me that my timing in fact did leave a great deal to be desired. "Are you sure there's nothing wrong? Your voice sounds odd." "I'm sure. I've got to get to work or I'll be late for court. See you tonight?" I spent another hour cleaning up all the little chores that accumulate in keeping a space station successfully in orbit in the asteroid belt, all the while with the sense that I was turning my back on a ticking bomb. St. Joseph alone knew what the twins were up to this time. 0900 hours saw me suited up, boarding a solar sled. The eye on the end of the hawser slipped easily from the hook attached to the outpost's hull. I shoved off with one hand, letting the sled drift for a bit. Outpost was made of the 2 spaceships, the Hokoa and the Vortrekker, that had brought us out to the belt 16 years before. They had been moored parallel to each other, bow to stern and bow to stern, and connected with corridors to form a sort of square-sided circle. We put on spin, and voila, a rotating habitat that didn't make more than 10% of the crew seasick at any one time, and most of them Charlie cured with an inner ear monitor she invented that I kept telling her she should patent. But when did my sister ever listen to me? She just nodded her head like the little doggy in the window and went off to invent some other life-saving and